This is the first time that we've had Kamala Harris in the lead, so that by itself was a shock. We polled in September, and she had closed a gap from our previous poll when Joe Biden was on the ticket by 14 points. So Donald Trump had been leading by 18 points in June, and then Trump leading by just 4 points in September. So this is really almost a linear continuation of that trend, which had Kamala Harris leapfrogging over Trump into the lead. We see the same things happening here, with particular note to women who are voting for Harris in large numbers, and that's driven by a big gap with women age 65 and over. It's more than a 2-to-1 ratio, not even close among women 65 and over. I'm very conscious that something could happen later this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow, that would change the shape of the election. We've seen it happen already. We've seen big things, seismic things happen that change the shape of the election.
Breaking news. Kamala Harris now leads among likely Iowa voters according to the final Des Moines Register Mediacom Iowa poll before the election. Vice President Harris has a 3 percentage point lead over former President Donald Trump according to the poll. That is within the poll's 3.4 percentage point margin of error. The Republican Party has had a firm grip on power in the state, holding the governor's office, a majority of both state house chambers, and all seats in Iowa congressional delegations. Trump won Iowa by 9 percentage points in 2016 and 8 points in 2020. I talked to my colleague Brianne Fonesteele, our chief politics reporter, to break it down for us. What does this Iowa poll mean for this upcoming election?
Well, I think what this poll means is that you need to be paying attention to Iowa on election night. You know, before this, both parties really had written off the state. They didn't put a lot of resources here. Nobody's been campaigning here. But at the very least, this shows that Iowa is in play and something interesting could be happening.
And what other observations would you like to include that you found in the Iowa poll?
The other thing that we found in this poll that was really interesting is a lot of support among the oldest voters. The number of likely voters who are under the age of 35 has kind of dropped off since we last polled in September, and we've seen a growth among those people who are older than 65. And that's interesting because those are actually the most reliable voters, so that's another good sign for Kamala Harris that she's got a lot of strength with those oldest voters.